There I am. No makeup today. It's just me. Caitlin jumping around in the background, ruining my amazing shot here. Per usual. Shaking my head. Hi, Mills. You're always here. You're always the first one. Ah, this is so hot. I have ramen. And it's very hot. Hiya. What's up, everybody? I know, finally. I just was having my own mental health stuff. I didn't want to, like, give advice when I wasn't doing well myself, you know? Woo! There's hair in my mouth. I know it always starts laggy and then it gets less laggy. I need to be careful with my hair and my mic. I'm eating ramen. ASMR. Is that how we're gonna start this off? Let me put this on the floor. Ugh, I don't have a table. Alrighty. Let me check the not gonna lie already. People ask me questions that are like really unrelated. What is your real name? What college do you want to graduate from? Guys, that's not related. What advice am I supposed to give to that? No, I haven't, but I also haven't seen my aunt in a while, and she kind of controls all that. She gets very confused. She's a little cuckoo banana, but you know. How is everyone? Well, we're about to find out, I think. Let's see. See, like, why are we talking about soccer? You guys. Is no one interested in it today? No one has anything they'd like to share? I thought people would. Check my Patreon. I'm pretty sure the pinned post on there, it's free. The post on there. The pinned post on there is, my P.O. box. I have hiccups. I'm gonna post the stream link on my story. I don't know Adina, so Dina can't really join me. How do I deal with going into high school and the stress of exams? I assume if you're saying going into high school, you mean that you're not already in it and you're 8th grade. And I would say it's not very different. It's made out to be different and it really isn't. It kind of just happens and you're like, okay, so this is what I'm doing now, and then you just kind of follow the thing. I mean, like, it's different for everyone, so I can't really make a general statement. Just like, I don't know, a lot of teachers are more lenient on like a lot of things, you know. Quinn, I don't know if I should tell my best friend I'm bi, because she always flirts with me and tells me I'd be a perfect girlfriend for her. She's also bi. She thinks I'm straight. I'm scared she would confess to me and our relationship will change. I kind of don't think she thinks you're straight, homie. I hate to say it. I kind of don't think that, but if you're worried about that, I mean, confession is never going to be a bad thing, because either she has unrealistic or misunderstood interpretation of your relationship and its boundaries, or you do. And so either she's going to be pushing for something more, or you're going to be pushing for there's that inequality. But if she doesn't confess, then you won't be as worried. You know, how do you confess to your girlfriend that you want to? Oh, should you? Yeah. That's fucked up. I really feel like I really don't appreciate this story that you've told. You were with someone for 2 years and then broke up, and then the next day got with your best friend, and then you want to break up but you won't tell her. I'll wait for ads. Are you guys back? Sorry, I would turn off the ads, but I can't until I have a computer where I can like do that on the side. But it's kind of both. You can kind of, I have a not gonna lie link up, so you can anonymously vent if you feel inclined to. And then I will do my best to give advice. Please don't click on any links that aren't from Who Just Sent One, Bello ME27, or Kaylin_E. I don't really read the chat very much to read out, like, or to give advice, so I would really make sure that you send it through the link, even if you want to, like, add your handle or something, if you want me to know it's you. But, you know. Anywho, what I said about you, the person who, I just think that it's wrong of you. I really don't like this little story you've told, and I kind of feel like it's not true, I hope. In a way. Just, how did you guys sit on there? Sorry, I got distracted. Anyways, I know you're in the game, Ellie. I don't think that's okay. At all. You were with a guy for 2 years, and then you broke up, and then the next day you got with your friend who you don't even like and who annoys you when she tells you she loves you, because it's not really mutual. And now you're saying, should I tell her? I hope that you're just looking for attention, and that's why you're saying things that are really weird. Because otherwise, I don't know why you'd be proudly stating it outwards, you know? You're pretty bad at relationships, then why were you in one? I mean, that's not really a but there. You could just say, I know I'm bad at you know? Well, then I don't think you're doing it for attention, but I don't know why you're telling me. Because it's like, it's always very straightforward answers. Should I tell this person who thinks that I love them and who trusts me and is vulnerable with me that I am not really interested in that at all with them? Duh. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I don't know why you're asking me. It's just weird. Anyways. This one. I understand that I'm in the wrong in this situation in which I had a situation with a girl that I ended up ghosting. As I said, I'm in the wrong due to my mental health issues, and now she wants to be friends again. I don't know what to do. I would say, don't. Oh my god. I just dropped my controller. No, I just mean you probably shouldn't be friends because I'm sure that want is coming from wanting to be more than friends. So I would say, hey, I really care about you, and I'm glad, or not even that I'm glad, but I really think it's best if we stop talking because I'm worried that you're still interested in pursuing something with me, and I don't want to lead you on again. You know? That is my advice. Girlfriend, and now my ex is texting me and liking my stories. I still want them back, but I don't want to out the girl through the same thing, so I'm keeping my distance, but it hurts. Sorry, I'm trying to understand what this means. Got broken up with, and the next day she posted another girl who is her girlfriend. And now your ex is texting me and liking my stories. Welcome back. I don't want to out the girl. Like, you don't want to cause the pain that they caused you to. I think you should do your best to distance yourself, not even for any personal reasons or for reasons with them. Just like they don't seem like someone who you can trust with your heart. And so I would look for other people. I don't think there's one person that's meant for anyone. And so there's plenty of people out there who you can fall in love with and find a healthy relationship with. And it doesn't have to be someone who's already hurt you in the past, even though they're convenient right now. A lot of people are asking, what to do about coming out, and obviously don't if you are at a safety risk, especially if you're bisexual. I'd say if you're bi, you should probably come out, because if you're in a relationship with someone of the same gender, because if your parents are homophobic, it would make them a lot more upset to find out without you telling them first. But obviously, if you're in a dangerous situation, I wouldn't even pursue anything related to that until you're safe. And I know it's hard, and it's wrong, but you should, I think it's better to prioritize your safety above all else, because if you're not safe, then you can't have those things in the future anyways. But, if you do want to come out, I would first gauge your safety with that. I think a lot of kids are way too scared. And I get it. It's not easy. My sister came out to our parents even after I had already come out, and she was still scared, even though it had been like a year and a half since I came out, and they did not give a shit that I was gay, you know? Sorry, I'm hungry. And so it's obviously scary, but I would just try to gauge where your parents are at, and then you sit them down and be like, hey, there's this thing. If you're worried that they have like issues with religion, inform them about it not being a sin in the Bible, because it was in Leviticus, which was a set of cultural norms, not sins, and mistranslations. I would just like try to find that. Or if it's from for any other reason, I would just do research in why that's wrong and why you believe it's wrong and try to make an argument for that. You know. But if your safety's at risk at all, don't. Until you have financial freedom. Not even just moved out. Like, until you are not relying on them for healthcare, for anything like that. Because you don't want to be in a dangerous situation. Oh, this one I feel like is relatable to, like, so many people. Quinn, my best friend, goes to a different school. I feel like we're distancing and I'm not sure how to stop it. I miss her. I don't want to lose her as my best friend. What do I do? Please help. I don't know how long you've known this person for, but I've moved schools like 5 or 6 times, and it is never easy to leave behind people who you care about and who you've, like, built that connection with. But at the end of the day, you still have these people. So even if you're not texting all the time or hanging out all the time, I still think that you know that if you ever needed them, they would show up for you, because that's friendship, you know? And that's the trust that you guys have built, I assume. And so don't worry about that. Just try to build a new thing. And I know it's hard, like, seeing my best friend, we have slowly distanced ourselves because we were together for a year in middle school and then not at all since, but she basically lived with us for that year. And so it was sad. And now I see her posting with her new best friends and stuff, and it makes me so sad. And I'm like, can we hang out? And she's like, I'm with my other friends. I'm like, no, Sammy. But you know what? It's okay. And I've tried to find new things to fill that, and I still know that when I have issues in my life, I still call her and she's like, oh, Quinn, are you okay? I'm here for you, you know? And so it is important that you take what you can maintain and not try to lose something when you're, like, with jealousy. Because I've done that before, where I was super jealous of my friend. And, like, it kind of ruined things. Because I was like, I moved schools and now you have new friends, and it made me really sad. But things happen, you know? Oh, if you feel at all like breaking up, you should probably do it, because that's not something... That isn't really a feeling that goes away. Obviously talk it out if it's, like, an issue, but if it's just a general feeling of, hey, I'm not really interested in this, everything is a learning experience, and I assume you're young, and so you really want to take what you have from this, and if there's something that will help you grow as a person, help them grow as a person, help both of you succeed in life, then you should prioritize that. You can still say, I love you so much, and I'm gonna see you soon. I'll see you around, but I have other things to do. You know? I have learning to do, you know? I'm getting bullied by someone or some people, I don't know who, but they're calling me and on no caller ID all the time and leave nasty voicemails, and it's making me feel bad about myself. Tell the police. Because that's harassment, and they can see who the non-caller ID people are. And so they can stop that. Because with that, you can't really ask them to stop, and so you'd have to get the police involved. And I know there's a lot of distrust in the police station, like, police system right now. You could also, I don't know. Is there a way to block no-caller ID calls? I don't know. I want to start online schooling for my mental health, but all my friends keep begging me to stay at school, and I don't know how to tell them the reason for me going online. You don't need to ever stay at somewhere because of friendship. I think that I've done that. I stayed at a school where I was getting bullied because I had a couple people that I really liked there, and it really didn't serve me at all. And so I think it's fair to go. I think everyone in 2025 has some sort of mental health issue they can relate with. Or you could just say, for, like, another reason, you could say, I just want to be able to play video games while I do my homework, you know? Like, there's a lot of reasons. But yeah, there's a lot of ones about like how do I leave friendships that are bad and how do I leave relationships that are bad. It is so hard. It is the hardest thing to do. Because when you know someone for a long time or you really attach yourself to someone, losing them feels like losing a huge part of you because so much of you is like grown onto this person. And it feels like when you leave, part of your heart is getting ripped out too as you go. But one time, I don't even remember the context, but I said, I've accepted the bullets for so long thinking they were Cupid's arrows, but now I need a break to heal. Because there's only so much you can take, and the only way you're going to be able to get into a healthy relationship or a healthy friendship is to take a step back and experience life and experience healthy things. And then you can let that in. But it got to a point in my life before where I couldn't even tell the difference even anymore, and I just took every bullet as a Cupid's arrow, and I got more and more attached, and it wasn't good for me, and I didn't realize until I was bleeding out, you know. And so I think it's a huge step, and it's really hard, and it can get really slow. The link is always on my story if you want to check that. Anyways, it can be really slow. I mean, friendships, relationships, I have a very hard time not going back and texting them and be like, hey, because once I love someone, I never stop loving them. I just love them differently. Even people who do me wrong, I still have so much love in my heart for them. I just don't love them the same way I did. And so obviously it's hard to lose someone and to say goodbye to something, but I think there's no way you can really prepare for that. You have to understand that it's going to be hard and it's going to be painful, but that you're making a decision that's going to be best for you. Because if you feel unhappy, then you're never going to let yourself be happy. And so you need to kind of move on to something, even if it's scary or even if it's worse, because you're not satisfied, and so you'll never let yourself be satisfied how it is. Like, if I'm unhappy with something, it's going to be a lot harder to enjoy it, you know, even if it changes, because there's still that, like, past with it. Someone in my friend group I think likes me and is too clingy to me, and I don't like it, but I don't want to hurt her feelings. I think you can set a boundary, and if they don't want to respect that boundary, then they weren't worth having. And so if her feelings are hurt because you're like, hey, I don't like when you hug me like this, or hey, I don't like when you text me all the time, or I'm feeling really overwhelmed, that's a boundary that you're setting, and if they can't respect that, then they weren't worth it in the first place. And so I think you just have to be comfortable setting boundaries with people in your life, or people won't know how to treat you and they won't know what to, obviously everyone has a moral standard, but you don't have anything to fall back on. If you communicate, then you can be like, hey, you crossed this boundary, I didn't appreciate that, so I don't want to talk to you anymore. But if you don't, then they can be like, well, I didn't know, you know? Even if it's common sense. But keeping to yourself is never the answer. Actually, sometimes it is. Someone in my class today I struggle with not saying what's on my mind because I don't realize things aren't compliments to some people. But this girl had her nails painted with this French tip, this like slightly bluish tint, but it wasn't blue enough where it was like, oh, that's definitely blue. It just looked like when your hands are really cold and so your nails start turning like a blue purple. And so I looked at her and I was like, oh my God, you scared me for a second. Your nails are so pretty, but that color made me think it's like what my hands look like when I'm like freezing. And she was like, oh, I was like, sorry, my bad. Oh, there's an ad? Is that only for I Love Cats? Oh, no. Why are there so many ads today? I'm so sorry, you guys. I guess the people getting ads can't hear me. But, stop my story. Hands up! I'll just eat when people go on ads. I am so sorry about the ad breaks. I don't want to monetize this at all, even though it's my job. Sorry. Guys in the chat, tell them that I'm not talking about anything. I know that they have ads. I stopped the story. Tell them. I guess I could, but I'm lazy. Do it. Maria. Kaylin. Guys, tell them. Thank you. Yay! Thank you, everybody. Is everyone free now from my capitalist grasp? How close am I to the computer? I don't know, really. I am close. I am getting there with the building it part, because I like hiring artists, and, like, I like supporting artists, and so I did a little much. The girl with the painted nails. I don't know what part you guys were at, but basically, her nails were, like, the same color mine get when I'm, like, ill, you know? Like, freezing cold. My fingers are freezing off, and I'm sick and dying. And so I was like, oh my god, you scared me. Your nails look... I've never talked to this girl before. She's just in my class. Oh my god, your nails scare me. Like, you know? And I told her that that's what my nails look like when I'm freezing. And she looked at me like, okay, thing. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it as, like, a negative thing. I'm so sorry. That's why I got bullied at my old school. I can't... And then I couldn't... I was like... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like offend you if I did, and I should have just stopped talking there. Honestly. But I always struggle with that because I see something and I'm like, oh, that's so interesting, and then I want to tell someone what I'm thinking, and then I realize, what if they don't think that what if they think that I meant it in a negative way, and then fuck, you know? But that's why I got in trouble at my old school a lot, because I'd be like, oh, you have really interesting lips. They kind of go out more than average people. That's cool. I have that too. And they'd be like, what? And then my friend at the time would be like, oh, guys, she's just autistic. Like, she meant it in a good way. And I'd be like, no, I meant it in a neutral way. And she'd be like, Quinn. And she'd like, I'd be like, what? I don't know. They would all call me the R slur and autistic and all that lovely stuff. Or I'd be like, oh, your nose looks exactly like Lara Croft in this edition. And be like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, you have the ears of Zendaya, but the nose of Claire Redfield and the eyes of Jill Valentine. Did you know that? They're like, I don't really care. Anywho, let me go back to the not gonna lie. There's no real way to stop hating yourself, but it's a lot. Changing yourself isn't gonna stop it, so don't try that. But being kind to yourself is a start. I think the easiest step to take is language, and so when I used to make jokes about KMS, I'm not diagnosed with anything. I'm diagnosed with some things, but I'm not diagnosed with, autism specifically. But a lot of people have told me I am, and then a lot of people have told me, you're faking it, Quinn. So, I don't know. But, I still got made fun of for it, or, like, told, no, she's just autistic, she's just weird. I'm not saying autistic people are weird. They were. But anywho, I think when it comes to self-love, changing your language is the most important thing. I know I was feeling my worst when I was constantly making jokes about, you know, I mean, that's one of the major reasons it's banned from my server, because it just, when I stopped saying things like that, it was not on my mind as much anymore. And so it wasn't something I was really thinking about. It was also just not something that I thought was an option in my head as much when I wasn't saying it. And so I started changing it to other things. One of the things I said for a long time was, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get my tubes tied." Because it wasn't about ending me. It would be, I just don't want to bring more people into the world anymore. I'm good, you know? Or things like that. That helped. It's also like how other people talk to you. Make sure you're vigilant about that and correcting them, and ask them not to talk to you in those ways, and how you're talking to yourself. And in those ways, I mean, instead of saying, "You failed at this," they say, "You're a failure," you know? Or, it's not, "You did a bad thing, you're a bad person." And then so when you hear all the time, "Oh, you're a failure, you're bad at math, you're all these things," you're not going to be thinking, "Oh, I need to change that all right, I need to change my action." It's a lot easier to change an action than a personality trait. And so framing things as a personality trait and still taking accountability for it is the only way to improve as a person. But saying, "Oh, I'm bad at math," or, "Oh, I suck," or, "I can't do this," that's not gonna get you anywhere. So saying, "I did bad on this test, how can I do better?" Instead of, I am awful at math, and I need to change who I am fundamentally. I need to get smarter, not, I have more to learn, you know? I think just changing things from, like, something about you to something you did, you know? So, like, if someone's like, "Oh, I don't like when you do this thing. You're really arrogant." It would be very different than, "When you do this thing, it is a very arrogant sounding action," you know? I think just, like, separating the action from the person when you're in reference to other people and yourself. But, yeah. How do I support a friend through their SH issues? Help them overcome that problem. I think it's really important to come from a place of understanding, just logically. It usually comes from trying to externalize what you're feeling inside. And so for a lot of people, it's, when I'm hurting inside, I need to see it, or I need other people to do it. And I think a lot of people think that SH is a sign of real issues inside. And so being a part of that and seeing it and being more than someone else, or being extra, or having that issue, is like a signifier to them of, my struggles are valid. I am valid in this, and I am someone who's struggling with this, and then it's validating to them. And so I think if that's the reason why, I would talk to them and be like, "Hey, why is this an issue for you?" Like, because there could be a lot of reasons, and then try to address it from there. Because if someone is doing it because they want to validate their mental health issues and feel like what they feel is true, then you're going to want to be there for them and support and validate how they're feeling, so that they don't feel like they need to prove it to themselves, you know? Or if it's a punishment thing, you can give them alternatives. Alternatives are good for everyone, but especially if it's a punishment thing, of, instead of, "Oh, I hurt someone, I'm going to punish myself physically," you could be like, "I'm going to punish myself by watching a ton of videos on how to be a better friend and how to improve this thing, this action that I did." Like, if that's a way, that's going to get you further. You're going to learn and you're going to improve. You know, hurting yourself isn't going to do well. Also, holding ice to it, dye, pen, a lot of that is really good. I tattoo a lot of things on myself, because it can kind of like, or I draw or I write, but if I'm feeling something, I want to get it out. And for a lot of people, that's causing pain on themselves. But I think it's really just changing it to be externalizing how you feel in a more artistic way. That's how I do it. That really helps. And so, I don't know, I think I come at things with a very much a solution kind of way. I think it's important for people to have both, like someone who is solution oriented like me, of where it's like, there's an issue on here, there's an issue here, what is the root? How do I solve it? Versus someone who will be like, I care about you, I'm here for you, like emotional, like I understand what you're doing, you know. I think there's a lot of a thing. You could also ask, you're coming to me, what do you need? You know, I keep saying, you know, it's my catchphrase. But when people come to me, they know how I act and they know how I react to things. And so if someone's coming to me and they need advice, I'm good for that. If they need solutions, I'm good for that. But if they need someone to just listen and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not always good for that, because it's so hard for me to like not want to give my input and try to help. So if someone just needs a hand to hold, I'm not always the best person, and I'm working on that, and I'm trying to do that, but I think it starts with asking. It just starts with, what do you need? Do you need someone to listen? Do you need advice? Do you need a solution? Like, what can I give you? What would help you? Because no one's a mind reader, and I think if someone wants you to read their mind, then that's not going to go well. So I think even if you're going to someone, and you be the solution then, like you be the change. Like if you're going to someone, if I'm like, hey, I want to vent about something to you, or I need advice, I need a solution, instead of just dumping it on them and have them figure out how they can support you, I would like give that to them. Because then you're getting what you want. And if things lean in a different way and maybe they realize, hey, it's kind of leaning towards venting, I'm just going to be there for them and listen, you can kind of navigate that. But I think it really starts with being specific in where you're at. You know, I don't have any motivation to do the things I have to do, and I have so much to do, but I don't know where to start, and there's just so much. I get that. If there's not a deadline for something, or if I don't have motivation, I can't do it. And a lot of the time, I have to give myself something good while I do it. That's why I'm a sugar addict. I get boba all the time, because if I don't have enough dopamine to satisfy me, then I'm going to be wandering around my room or scrolling or doing something to try to get myself dopamine. I think not scrolling is really important, because that's gambling. You're gambling with your dopamine every time. And so if you are scrolling, then you might get more dopamine, but you might not. And that's just going to waste your time. And so I would find other things to do. I go on walks a lot. I exercise. That's a good source of dopamine. Watching something funny, doing something good. But what I do, I drink a lot of sugar. I walk. I do a lot of things to try to keep my dopamine up, and so that I don't get as distracted when I'm trying to do homework or something like that. And I'm slow with a lot of things because I still do get distracted, but that's why I'm always on the phone with Kaylin, for instance. Like, I can't focus on things if I don't have some sort of external dopamine giver. And so I would kind of fish around and see what works for you, to get you not necessarily motivated, but to get you focused. You know, but that's kind of my solution. I know I get distracted. I need to like delete Instagram, because I think a lot of us are used to that. It's not even that we're used to higher dopamine levels. We're just used to gambling our dopamine, because it's addictive. And so I would try to remove that from your life. I know it's hard. FOMO is crazy out here, but yeah, that's kind of how I stay motivated. See, even talking, I like go off in random places, and I don't even know if I'm where I started. But I think also just like giving yourself time to do things that you need to do. I took oh my god, I have like the hiccup burps. Anyways, I took a 6th period off, so I don't have a class for one of my days, and I just walk. And I sometimes get homework done, sometimes I just sit there. But that kind of helps me cool down from having to have focused. It kind of keeps me motivated to move forward. I think if I took a 6th class, I would be totally pooped for the rest of the day. And so, I don't know, sometimes you have to make decisions. I know it's hard. I really am interested in taking rigorous programs and doing a lot of work. And it's hard for me to buckle down and do it. I mean, Kaylin knows that I stay up till midnight doing homework because I put it off because I want what's going to give me dopamine. And so that's something I need to work on too. But I think it just starts with like finding what's going to give you dopamine that isn't as time consuming as like scrolling for things or talking to someone constantly. I don't know, even just having someone on the phone with you when you're not talking, and you're just working on things, it can be good. Oh wow. A friend of yours ex sent her a death threat a little bit ago. She only told me a few other friends. Now one of the friends that knew about the threat is dating the boy who sent me the threat, knowing he sent it. Now she wants to break up with him, and I'm worried she's going to get a threat too. Threats are threats, and he would ruin his life if he did that. And I don't think a relationship in high school is usually worth that. If you're seriously worried, like if there is a true danger, because getting a death threat, it hurts and it's not fun. But if it's not a real threat, then I'd rather you break up with the person, you know? But I think you should, if you're worried, contact the police. And I know that's scary, but I did that recently. There was this girl who had an issue, and I have worked with her for like a month now on this legal case she was doing because she was in a awful situation, and I noticed it because she was talking about it on stream, and so we've been in contact for a while, and she won the case. So now that person's on a list and can't contact her, and that's awesome. Oh, who subbed? Someone gave Maria a sub. And ads. Why is there more ads than usual today? How are there so many ads today? That is so weird. Thank you, Caitlin Love. I don't know. Let me tell everyone in the chat that I'm so sorry about the ads, because there's way more than there's supposed to be, I think. I didn't touch the settings at all. I don't know why. It's being like that. But, do I have any experience with an ED? Yes, I do. I feel like I was somewhere else. Oh, wait. I think I finished that. I do. I have a lot of experience with it. It's mostly been, body dysmorphia. And so I would see myself in the mirror and see something that wasn't there. And so when I was really unhealthy, I didn't realize it. And I feel because I was not eating enough, I was very used to that feeling at some point. And then so whenever I'd get anxious, I would get so sick in my stomach, and I still do now, just because of that, I guess, new health issue it created. I don't know. But whenever I get anxious, my stomach hurts so bad that I stop eating. And it's just not something that crosses my mind to eat. And so it's gotten me in big trouble a lot of times, because I've gone a long time, because then the hunger starts coming in, and I'm confused the hunger for signs that I should stop. that I shouldn't eat even more. And so what it took was a couple times, it's usually I have to go to the doctor and they're like, hey, you're starving. You're starving, Quinn. You lost 10 pounds. You're starving. And then I'm like, wait, so if I eat, I won't feel this anymore? And then I eat a ton, and then it starts over because I'm like, oh no, I'm seeing something that isn't there. I look pregnant. But I didn't, and it doesn't matter if I do. But you didn't ask for advice. You asked if I experienced it, so I told my story. But it didn't really ever help me. I still have issues with it. I got made fun of for being skinny, for having it, actually. A lot of people, I am naturally heavy. Not in like in a body kind of way. I mean, yeah, I am. But my family just naturally weighs more, even when we're as healthy as we can be, or even skinnier than we should be. We are still more heavy than most people. So it looks different for everyone. And so my friends at school would be like, oh, you're so skinny. You're like practically a skeleton. It's so gross and weird. You look so weird. How much do you even weigh? 80 pounds? And I'd be like 120. And they'd be like, what? You're so heavy. Why do you weigh so much? And then it'd be like, oh, well, okay then, But it was never a weight thing really for me because I know that I naturally weigh more. It was looks. I didn't really keep track of my weight that much. It was usually like after a meal, I would see how much more I gained because I was worried about how it would affect how my body looked, which was very unhealthy. And so I had to tell someone, hey, please take away this thing. This is the map that I'm playing, dude. Anyways, and so that's kind of where it went. I just kind of had to stop wearing crop tops, I think. The winter helped me because I'm so used to wearing crop tops, and then I don't want to, show my stomach if I'm not how I wanted to do, and so that kind of helped me. But now it's not a habit. I'm not used to eating, and so I don't remember to. And that's the biggest issue. But look at me. I have food right now. But no, I was always told that I look so muscular and that I am muscular because I'm strong. I always outdid everyone on the fitness tests and all the other things, and I don't even work out. It's just a natural thing for me. It made me very insecure. And I hope this isn't offensive. That's how all bad things start. But I think in 2020, there was a lot of focus, especially because I was in like the anime community, on like beauty standards in like East Asia. And I have a very different body type from, I think, the average person there. Because I'm not the same, I'm not at all similar, Well, actually, races are 99% share the same DNA. It is barely different, even though it looks different. Anyways, so I was comparing myself to that a lot, and that's what really started it, because I was like, I look so muscly and big, and my legs are big, and then it just like snowballed, and 4 years later, I'm still here. Kicking it. I'd be like, anime girls have no muscle. What's wrong with me? Girl. I don't know. My head hurts. I don't know. No one's saying anything about what I said in the chat, so now I'm kind of worried. I don't know. I don't know. Do I seem emotional talking about this stuff? I don't think there's anything wrong with emotions, but I don't know. I feel like that's so general. I don't know what getting emotional would really entail. It's vulnerable, but I don't know. You said don't look at it. They didn't think. Oh, fair enough, Kaylin. All right. Well, I'm not crying, so I mean, I'm not getting emotional right now about it. I am just telling my story. I think it's easier when I'm not like being vulnerable and I need help way. It's more of a I'm trying to help other people way, and so it's less emotional because it's just I'm trying to help people. Um, you know. I'm getting so much more overstimulated lately than I usually do. The smallest things. I don't know how to control it anymore like I used to, and I wish I were neurotypical. Any advice? I understand how you feel. Um, for sure. There are times where I've gotten so overwhelmed in my life that I just can't feel the seatbelt on my body or the slight sock movement on my foot, and it's always like in the moment it feels like this is just more proof that everything's going wrong. I'm so overstimulated, like everything. I am someone where when I'm overstimulated, I get pissed off or I panic, but it's usually like I'm just like I'm so angry. Like why is my necklace touching my neck weird, and now my chair is on, and then my mom tries to touch my arm, like stop, like, and it's so uncomfortable. And so you need to inform the people around you that is something you struggle with. That's very, very, very important. And I don't know, it has its ups and downs. So you've been through it, and it may be more extreme now, but you've been through it before, and so you know the basic tools, I hope. Those aren't reasons, all right. What? I don't know what you're saying, Melon Slicer. At all. Anyways. I don't know what you're talking about. You keep saying weird things today. I don't know what it is. Anyways. You don't necessarily need to control it. I would say as long as you are safe, that is important, and as long as people around you are safe, that's important as well. I don't know. I'm struggling with it, so it's hard for me to give you advice because I still don't really know what to do. I think I usually have to distract myself, but it's a slippery slope. Like if I'm trying to open a video to distract myself and it's not turning on because my Wi-Fi is not working, it's even more overwhelming and it's even more panicking, and I just crash. And so I think it just kind of takes work. Have grace for yourself. You can get through it. Make sure all your health needs are met. You can get more over it. You could be stressed out lately and you need to take more time to breathe. You could be tired. You're a lot more sensitive to things like that when you're tired. Just take care of yourself and the base things that need to be like okay, and then from there it'll hopefully improve. I don't know. I'm also on medication, and so that is another way of coping that some people use. I also fidget a lot, and so it kind of takes that stimulation and focuses it in one area. And so like if I'm feeling myself pluck shit off my knee or pull the hairs out of my skin with tweezers on my legs, that's like focusing it to one area, instead of feeling like, oh, I feel my head on here and I feel my body on here, and then I hear my dad talking downstairs and it's so overwhelming. I try to keep it limited to what I can control, and so I always keep fidget things around me, or I draw a lot. I doodle, and that can get frustrating, so I try to keep that in mind too. But I think just like keeping things focused to one stimulating thing. I've had to teach my mom about that, about like how I can't take multiple stimulating things at once. I have to center it to one thing, so that I am not distracted by things around me, and that's hard for her to understand, but she gets she's learning. I mean, you kind of just have to teach people and hope for the best. I'm lucky my parents are very receptive to things like that, so even if my mom doesn't get it, she'll work on getting it because she wants to support me. And so I think I'm fortunate in that way, but it would be beneficial to find people in your life like that, even if they're not your parents anyways. If that makes sense. Am I lagged out? Sometimes chat disappears. I don't know if I'm the problem or if no one's talking, you know? Hiya. I have an avoidant attachment issue, and it sucks because I'm hurting them by not telling about how I feel. Tell them. Wait, let me look up avoidant attachment style. I have the opposite of that. That's the one where you back off when you're attached to someone or something. I think it starts with one step at a time. Just like anything else, you have to take things in small bits. 'Cause if you minimize something to just a couple texts, then it doesn't feel like as overwhelming as it's going to be a big conversation. I mean, that extends to a lot of things. If you're doing homework and you're like, this is a lot of homework, sometimes I have to like pull out the page and move it somewhere else, or take it one paragraph at a time and not look at or not try to recognize that there are other pieces of it. That's why I like printouts of readings I have to do for school. Because I can like kind of separate it and look at different parts of it without feeling like I have a big stack of shit I have to do. So you kind of have to take it bit by bit. And that's the same with communication, I think. If you're worried, I don't have that issue, so it's hard for me to give advice. I have the anxious one where it's like, I need to be around you at all times or I don't think you like me anymore. I don't know. My brain's against me. If someone does like me, I worry that they don't, and if someone doesn't like me, I'm so certain that they will treat me right. But like, if someone treats me good recently, if someone usually treats me bad and then they treat me good all of a sudden, my brain forgets about the bad and I remember the good and I get attached to the good part. But if someone always treats me good, if they treat me bad, I get so over in my head about it that I make it worse. And I'm like, I'm so scared that I just need to latch on to you and are we okay? Are we okay? Are we okay? Are we okay? And it gets very overwhelming. But I don't know. I think I flip-flop where sometimes it's, I think I'm more avoidant with people who I think are better than me. I don't know how to explain it, but like Kaylin, for example, I was very, not intimidated, but I felt not worthy. I'm not worthy of you, Kaylin. I'm not worthy of you. But I was like, I didn't feel good enough. And so I was like, I gotta leave before I make this whole thing worse. Like, I don't want to hurt you or get hurt. So bye-bye. And so I was very detached from her. And now I'm chill. I got over it. I think it just comes with moderation. I spend a lot of time with her, but like today, for instance, I'm alone here. I had to, let myself have space. Otherwise, I think you have to you get really oh my god, you get really overwhelmed by people. I get very overwhelmed by people, and so like if I'm always with someone, I don't get bored of them, but I get overwhelmed, and then like everything starts to like freak me out, and then so I have to like take a bit of a breather and realize the truth of where things are at and be like, Quinn, you are fine. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm yapping all over the place today. I didn't take my meds. I often dissociate as if I were out of my mind and living on autopilot. I don't know what to do. This bothers me a lot, especially at school. This often makes me anxious and worried. Yeah. Yes. There's not much more I can say than validate it, because there's not really a comprehensive solution. Because the issue is so conceptual that there's not very much you can do. I think finding tools that you think will help you at least, or at least a little bit, will stop it from happening. Because I know that, for example, I listen to things, so I have people with me when I fall asleep, so that I know that if I do have a panic attack, I will have that resource to distract it and calm down. Oh my god. How are there always ads, you guys? Thank you to all my subs for being here while the ads play for everyone else. Thank you, subs, for being here. You're probably queer. Love you too much. I don't know what I'm saying. It's over? The ads are over? War is over! You're fine? You're all fine? We're all here? We're all here, we're queer. We will not live in fear. Okay, anyways, where was I? I was somewhere I feel like important. Oh, anyways, I know that if I don't have something like that, I'll have a panic attack simply about not having the tools that I need. And so knowing that you have the tools, you trust yourself and you're not going to be worried about it, because a lot of the time the worry makes it worse and then you do have it. Disassociation is a coping mechanism because you get really overwhelmed and then you get out of there because you're like, I need to go. Sorry, I am overwhelmed and I'm just pop and I'm gonna leave now. Bye-bye. And so I don't know. I've worked hard to try to stay present even through pain like that, and it is the worst feeling. I'll be so honest with you. Panicking when you're not used to being able to panic that much is so hard. But I've done it before and it told my body that it's possible. And so it's helped. I think just like finding things like that. Someone said, is there a way to stop being so sensitive? I think, why do you want to be less sensitive? I've felt that way before because I had a lot of friends who had been through a lot and they were not emotional at all. And I was like, why am I so emotional about things? You know, I feel like, am I stupid? But I do think it makes part of who I am. I don't shut up about things that I'm passionate about, and I will stand up for myself. And I'll stand up for what I think is true. And when I say stand up for myself, it doesn't even mean that I am forced to always be right. I like to have the correct stance on things, and so if someone else is right, I'm like, oh, okay. You've proven your point. I will believe that until it is disproven. But I don't really have opinions that I can't defend. But I think I'm very sensitive, and I think it's part of what makes me a good learner. Because I can feel and notice things, and then I can make an opinion on them. I'm a very opinionated person, and I think it does me both harm and good, but I think the best parts about me are the parts that are from that sensitivity. Someone said, I don't know why, but I have serious attachment issues, and I get jealous when my friends talk to someone else and leave me alone. That's normal. If you get left alone by someone, you're gonna feel pain. That's completely normal. But I always just feel like I have no friends. Maybe I'm just sensitive. I was talking to oh god. I was talking to Claire about this today. My whole life I was alone. So, and I never had, like, I always had those issues too because I was so insecure. Thank you, Jazz. But I was super insecure, and I think that jealousy comes from insecurity of like, I want to be this person's favorite person because they're my favorite person, and that's something that I want that validation. And I think you just have to spend time with yourself, which is easier said than done. It takes way too much time, but it's worth it, obviously. But I was talking to Claire about it, as I tried saying, and then I got distracted. But I think it's also just finding the right people for you. For me, for my sister, she would rather have people who she doesn't really jive with and still be there for them and loyal to them, because she likes having people, and she cares a lot what people think about her, and she's a people pleaser, and so that's something that she values. Me, on the other hand, she feels lonely with those people too, but I would rather feel lonely alone than feel lonely with people who aren't my people, you know? So I don't spend time with people, I try not to at least, who aren't my kind of people, because I would rather be alone than with someone I am not seen by. Because I think feeling seen is really important to me. And so a lot of people tell me, you should just, if you want friends, you're going to have to change, and you're going to have to sacrifice that. And I say, well then, I can't wait to have more alone time. Because that's something that I don't want to give up. Because I did before. I was with this friend group that, as I've said before, made fun of me a lot. I was kind of the comedic release. I don't remember what it was. But, comedic relief? Yeah. And so it was really lonely and isolating. They'd all hang out, and they wouldn't include me because I was just the girl at school who made the jokes, even though I considered myself part of their friend group. But, because I'd known them all the same amount of time they knew each other, but... And it was painful, and I was happier when I was just alone, instead of having to deal with that. There's nothing lonelier than being with people who don't see you, to me. And so I think that that's something you have to think about. I know you're asking about jealousy, but I figure that if you're insecure about them seeing other people, then they might not be your person, you know? Be your type of person. I don't know. There's not really a solution. It's kind of just a human emotion, and confidence is the only way to get through that. But I'm like that too. A lot of my friends, my sister even, who I spend my time with at school now because I moved schools, is a floater. She walks around and talks to people all day, and so I kind of have to be okay with spending some of that time alone, because that's not who I am. I'm not a floater. I don't go around giving a little piece of myself to a bunch of different groups. I'm a very 100% person. Like, if I'm gonna give you if I'm gonna give any of me to you, it's gonna be all of me. And so I can't go floating around. It's all or nothing for me, and so I kind of have to live with that. And so I let her do her thing. I sit and I hang around. But you know. So I'm not picking my nose. I am sick right now, and so my nose keeps running and tickling me. Hey! Someone said I have hip dips and they are so ugly. I can't wear leggings or pretty dresses because they define my hips. It's dumb, but I hate it. Don't be mean to me. Girl, why do you have to say that about me? Dude, why are you calling me ugly? Hip dips are... do not make fun of hip dips, bitch. I will fight ya. Be nice to hip dips. They're cute. I get insecure sometimes too. But, you know, it is just your bones. You can't do anything about them. So just because yours look good, yours look bad. That's in your head, hun. That's in your head. I love you, but pull up. Go on Ibis Paint and put your hip dips under my hip dips, and then do the little slider, the little invisible slider thing. I'm sure it's the same thing, and you just hate yourself because you're self-critical. You know? I mean, there are a lot of things that people find insecurity in that I like more about myself. I love hip dips. I mean, yes, that, but I love stretch marks. I love my stretch marks. I don't know why. I mean, they're just like cool to me. Like, they look like little lightning bolts. Since they're old now, they kind of look like indents in my skin when I flex, but also like they glisten in the sun. They're like little rainbows. I think they're totally cool. I'm covered in these little rainbows that remind me of how far I've come, and I think that's beautiful. You know, stretch marks aren't stretching, it's growth. So I'm glad you're getting used to them, because I really just love stretch marks. I think they're just cute. I don't know what to say. I just like them. That's one insecurity that I don't think I've ever had. I don't know why, but the moment I got them, I was like, wow, this is this cool thing on my skin now. I don't know. I mean, I think when people started saying that it was their insecurity, I was like, oh, so I should be insecure because you think it's bad. But then I was like, well, fuck that. They're cool. They glisten in the sun and they change color every day. Because when I first got them, they were pink some days and purple some days, and I'd be like, ooh, this is so cool. Can I guess which one it'll be? It's a fun little game. And now they're just they're my skin color that turn rainbow in the sun. They're cool. Oh my god. I am not one to say this because I'm not really, I'm not a masked lesbian, but someone said, sometimes I get upset because even though I'm a masked lesbian, I get treated like a man because you're built like one. Ugh. I hear that. I wasn't a masked lesbian, but I still got treated like a man by by one of my exes, which was so awful. It was like, leave me alone. But, you know, I just realized I can take this headset off. If I want to. But, yeah, maybe Kaylin can give you things in the... I'm so confused. Melon Slicer, leave. I think you're comforting someone, but I need you to stop. I don't know who you're talking to, but you can't say that. I know that you know what you said was a problem because you censored it. So that's not okay. Well, you are beautiful, Jessie. Jessie Pooh. I love you. But you're beautiful in every single way. What? Why don't you love it? No! Someone said, I have a scar on my stomach from getting burned by a firework. I get made fun of for it, and I used to love it, but it looks like a big spark. Because it looks like a big spark, not anymore. Get that love back. Or we're gonna fight. That's so cool. When I read it at first, I was like, oh my god, is this gonna be a cute little story? Because that's actually really cool. It's also like, It's a reminder of something beautiful in the sky that everyone likes. Like, people literally break laws to see fireworks, and you can be like, I know a thing or two about those. If you want to talk about scars, I have them on my inner thigh, right next to my intimate area. Like, I have 2 scars from burning myself on a laser. And honestly, if you're worried about someone not loving you because of a scar, that's silly. Because imagine you had a partner and they were like, oh, I have this weird scar. That's what it took for me. It just took being like, hey, I have this weird scar. Then they'd be like, I don't give a shit. It's actually adorable because it's you and I love you. And so anything that's unique to you, I love. And then so you're like, oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. And so if you have a cool scar, that's awesome because that's you. And so if someone loves you, then they're like, oh my God, I love this thing about you because it's you and it reminds me that it's you and I love you. That's how I feel about scars or birthmarks. For anyone I care about, Kaylin has a little freckle right here. I love it. I think it's so cute. My sister has a scar right here. I think it's so cool. That's why I draw people. Thank you. But, thank you very much. But, I don't know. I think everything that makes people unique is awesome. Because if you love someone, you're gonna love what make them cute. What make them them. Sorry. I said cute because I saw Kaylin and she's my little baddie. No, I don't know why I said cute, but you have a scar on your... Yeah, exactly. Power to scars. They're awesome. You do have a uterus, and if you want to be a mother one day, then be proud of that little pouch on your stomach because it gives you the opportunity to have children. Or to have a lot of things. It's all good. But, I love noticing scars and freckles on people. I usually notice them before people do. Like, oh, you have this thing there, and they're like, really? I didn't know. Genuinely, not like, oh, I didn't know, Quinn. I think that's my love language, is finding unique things about people to to adore. But, exposure therapy. Your body is tea and your belly fat makes it. But be careful saying that kind of thing. Yes, great! Yes, great! But, what was I talking about? Oh, please be careful when you say things like that in the chat, though, because I don't want anyone to see that and internalize it. Like, your insecurities deserve to be validated and addressed, but be careful with it, because I don't want someone, and I know I'm reading them out, but be careful when you say things like that, especially if I'm not going to catch it, because I don't want someone to see it and be like, hey, this is a new insecurity I've just unlocked. I don't know. Anyways. Oh my God! This makes me mad. Okay. For context, I'm trans and my friends seem to think it's okay with her boyfriend being transphobic towards me when it very clearly bothers me, so I wonder if maybe she agrees with him, but I don't know if I'm overthinking it. Girl. Or, I mean, you could be a guy, I guess. I say girl for anything, but I forget that there are other people in the world. Around the world, girl. Anyways. I think you need to drop that friend immediately and say, if you love someone who fundamentally thinks my existence is wrong, then I can't be around you. Because I love you, and I love our friendship, and of course, I'll miss what we had, but I can't surround myself with people who are capable of letting people deny my existence and harm my identity to my face. That wasn't very well said, but I think it just stands for their morals. If I found out that someone I was in love with was shitty to anyone, especially someone I cared about, I would drop them. I don't have that kind of like loyalty. Don't clip that. But I don't have that kind of loyalty to people where if it's like, oh, you did bad, but you're my friend, so I have to support you. I think that's broken and toxic and it's harmful. So if your friend is okay with dating someone like that, then that says a lot about them. I am very much a guilty by association person. I know that's like a hot take, but I think if you're willing to surround yourself with bad people, then you don't have strong enough morals. At least I have really strong morals when it comes to like things like that. So I try not to surround myself with people who are not willing to take a stand or who will surround themselves with bad people, you know? I don't ignore people. I'll still be friendly, but it's like, if you're gonna be friends with someone who disrespects me, or who disrespects people, or who has this wrong opinion, or this wrong stance that is harmful, then I don't trust you. You know? I don't know. I'm very, very stern about that. Don't know how it happened. My friend's boyfriend says gay slurs and always questions me, but in a making fun of you way. And my friend doesn't do anything about it. What should I do in this? This is the same thing! Drop her, please. Oh my god. I'm choking on noodles. It's like halfway down my throat and up my nose. It's like it's been like this for like 10 minutes now. It's awful. But please drop them. Yeah, Claire?
You took all my paints and now I don't have any for my art projects that I have to do.
Let me hand them to you right now.
No, can you carry them back to my room?
Yeah. Here I come. Ow. Here you are, Claire Fraser.
No, they were up there.
Oh.
When?
What did I do?
Did you use my white paint?
How else was I supposed to lighten paint?
God damn it.
I'm very confused.
I told you not to use these.
I had already used the white one. I thought you only meant the black one.
Oh, you tainted it.
Oh, did I really? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Claire. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
When I directly said don't use these.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I thought you meant the black. And I couldn't get the black open anyway, so I thought it wasn't an issue. I'm sorry. Toodaloo. Oopsie. My bad. And I return. Anyways. I'm trying to get through them. So I sorry if I skip yours. I'm just trying to make sure don't speak, sorry. Gay bits, gay bits. I can't see the gay bits for some reason. If there is gay bits, which I assume there is. Kaylin, oh my god. If someone's telling you to be that you're too sensitive about something, then they're probably too apathetic. Because they should either help you grow or not hurt you on purpose. It doesn't say that there's any gay bits on my end. What? Am I losing my mind? I don't see a single gay bit on my end. Can you screenshot or were you lying? I did scroll up. Oh, all I see is vampire with a bunch of gay bits. What? Yeah. Boy, he's so cute. No, Dexy, don't leave me. Oh, he left me. My baby boy left me. What am I to do? My dog left me. I miss him so much. I miss him. Check my phone for gay bits. Maria sent them. I can't help with memory things, but I understand it's an issue for me too. I can never remember anything. If I tell someone else to do something, or if I write it down, well, it's not, I mean, sometimes if I write it down, that helps a little bit, but if I set a reminder to do something, then my brain remembers too. Which is so annoying, because then it's like, why did I set an alarm anyways? But I don't forget things if I tell people or I make a reminder to do things. I think it's just because, like, my brain, it goes through more pathways in my brain when I have to, like, verbally do something and have that exchange to set a reminder, and then I just remember it better. But I know that's for, like, getting things done. But if it's, like, it's about memory. But if it's like people's birthdays, I try to keep a list or put it on my calendar, but I'm bad with that. Or if it's just like small facts like people's family members or things like that, I really struggle with that. And then so I honestly just try to surround myself with people who are understanding and who respect me and trust and love me and know that me forgetting doesn't mean I don't care. It just means that I struggle to remember a lot of things. And so I think it's really just like, if people are going to get mad at you for that, then that's not a connection you necessarily want to be in. I say these things because I'm very pick any number. 200. Anyways, now I'm distracted. I was gonna do, what was I saying? Oh. Oh, I'm very picky. I get very, thank you, Kaylin. I get very picky about who I surround myself with because I can't trust people who I find flaws, like unchangeable flaws in. And so like if someone is non-negotiably, non-changeably not understanding, then I just don't surround myself with them. I conversate with people. I say, I don't like when you do this, and I want like that to change. But it's not always successful, and I just have to be like, okay. I have a friend that I haven't hung out with in months. He's a Trump supporter. That never bothered me before because he accepted me as trans, but I don't know. Lately, I just feel so different about it. I also found out that he dated a minor when he was 20 and possibly abused his ex-wife. I kind of just want to leave. Yeah. Well, that makes sense with the Trump supporting part. Well, now the Trump part is a lot less surprising. Oh my god. Well, yeah, the Trump part is like, I get it. They voted away your rights for the idea of a better economy. I mean, they're that cheap. But yeah, that's kind of bad. So I would say drop him because I doubt he brings you that much value. But that's like a trio. Bad politics, bad relationships, pedophile. Like, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. There's a girl at my school that talks crap about me, and some of my friends. She keeps trying to apologize, but they are always backhanded apologies. So I finally declined it recently, and now she's bullying and spreading rumors over text. I want to do something about it, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what your school system is like, but I know that in my school you can talk to a dean and be like, hey. But I know there's like a whole snitch culture. I don't really subscribe to that, but if someone's harassing you or spreading things about you, you can talk to someone, and if they actually do something wrong, like kind of legally bordering that, then you can tell the principal, and then they can make it so that they can't talk about you anymore to anyone, and that's always fun. But I would honestly just say ignore her because she will get bored very fast. And the people who believe it without evidence aren't worth having anyways. I try to take things that have evidence because I've been there before. Where people are like, you've done this thing, and no one's like, hey, can you prove that? If you don't know how to help someone, I would ask. I think it would start with asking, because sometimes they won't know, but sometimes they will. But I'd say for a lot of these, I've already touched on. So if you haven't been here, if you haven't been here this whole time, I'd watch back to it. I talked about a lot of these things already. So if that's something that would be helpful for you, I would go back for sure. If I didn't touch on you, because I might have, and just not, like, reiterated, you know? But, yeah. There's an update? Oh god. Oh my god, please go to sleep. Please go to sleep, you guys, if you're up right now. You can always come back tomorrow. Um, but I think I'm gonna close the link. I have these somewhat regularly, so if I did not say something, please go and what am I saying right now? There's always more opportunities to or resources available. Oh, is my story with the link not up anymore? Was it ever up? I could have sworn it was. It was? Oh, on my phone it's not, so I can't take it down. The music sounds like it says Quinn, and it's terrifying. Alright. Guys, I forgot to do a face mask. That was, like, the whole plan. I guess I'll keep it up for a little while longer. Ugh. That was, like, the whole point. I was gonna do a face mask. I'm so stupid. Guys, that's the kind of negative self-talk that I was talking about. I'm not stupid. I just have poor time management and memory skills. I don't wear face masks ever. I never do. What the fuck? Let me lay this back a little bit. So I'm not like... Queefing everywhere. Can someone read the chat? I've seen immigrant and Trump in a different language, and I need someone to time them or tell them to stop talking about other languages right now. Or talking maybe as Trump supporters? Who knows? Who knows? All these possibilities. Do I want a birthday present? I mean, who doesn't, but my birthday's not for a little while. My birthday's April 1st. So, I do mental health streams whenever I'm feeling ready to. So it's kind of inconsistent. Oh, that's weird. That's kind of what America is. It's a bunch of immigrants, but whatever. I look like Hannibal Lecter or something. Do you hear my sister singing? I don't have a skincare routine. Tears, maybe? Let me see how long this is supposed to be. Five minutes. Alexa? 5-minute timer, please. Alright, let me continue to read. Oh. Can you hear me better now? Oh, oops. My skin isn't clear. You just see it in really grainy quality. Let me actually post my skin up close on my story. If I have photos of it. But I definitely wouldn't say clear. Queer, maybe. Oh no. Did I survive the fires? I don't know. TBD. Let me find photos of my skin, 'cause I know I have photos of my skin, yeah. I know I have photos of my skin. I know I have photos of my skin. I know I have photos of my skin. I'm also on birth control, which changes that. So don't compare yourself to someone on birth control. Pretty please. I know I've posted up closes of my skin before. I might have to do that in a sec. So that you know that I'm not. What am I infected with? Birth control? I'm confused. I'm confused. I can't find any photos. I will find those later. Oh my god, this is hard. Oh wait, it's ads. Oh wait. I'm trying to read these things. I don't know why there's so many more ads today. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. To the person who has that friend, that Trump supporter friend, I see your update, but I still think you should drop them. Even if it's slow. Or you don't have to, like, drop them immediately. If you don't talk anymore, really, then it's not a big deal. But I would try to avoid having them in your life or trusting them with more personal information or money or anything like that. Hello, Mother.
Hi, daughter. Okay, so you haven't eaten, you haven't cleaned your room.
I did eat.
What have you eaten?
I had, like, a lot of bites.
No, you didn't. I'm looking at your bowl right there. Of soup, maybe.
Oh.
I would really appreciate it if you
Big
took
bowl.
that bag and you picked up all the empty...
Alexa, stop.
Empty stuff in the bathroom.
Okay, Mama. Okay, wait.
Should just go in the trash.
Just took my trash bag from my room. Now I'm shiny. It's just because it's wet. It's not shiny. It's an illusion of texture, you guys. Alright, let me take flash photos of my skin so you can see that I do have acne. It's not glass, it's wet. That is not focused. My poor eyes. It is still out of focus. Hello? Okay, but jawline is jawlining. Hello? Focus. Focus. I'm focused. Oh, that was a crazy photo, Quinn. That was kind of silly. These photos are kind of silly. I think these are really good photos of me. Okay. Let me make sure this will go on my story. Okay, there. It is going to my story. Let me find photos of me, because I know like a year ago even, my skin was so much more acne prone. Because I got older. Sorry, I don't really have photos of just my skin or something. But I'm trying to find ones where it's not an illusion of blur or something, you know what I mean? I don't have a lot of photos of me when my acne was worse.
Sorry, I want to find photos for you guys, but I am having a hard time finding photos of myself in general. I'm working on it. I don't have like a lot of photos of my skin, you guys. I know I post on my story every once in a while, like my real skin, but it is not often. Well, actually, it is pretty often, but I don't keep the photos, is what I mean. So I'm having a hard time finding it. But I do have actual holes in my skin, so. Anywho. Why can you guys not breathe? Are you okay? What did I miss? Oh no. The all lowercase help. Oh no. Should I be worried? Oh my god, I love that you guys are actually all wearing face masks right now. I didn't expect you to actually do it. Kaylin, you look really confused. It's a sheet, Kaylin. You put on a paste. It's different. Did you read the Did you read the directions? Mine applied like a sheet. So it's like lifting half off your skin. Good night! I love you. Alright. I want to switch stream and play Flee the Facility. Really quick, because I need a little pick-me-up before we go. So, I hope everyone is feeling good. I have a fan-made version of it, but I don't have the actual Ellie bracelet yet. No. But someone sent me theirs, which isn't one-to-one, but I cherish it with my whole heart. Oh, it is your bracelet. I was thinking, oh, it was from Gray, but I wasn't gonna be like, Gray, come back here. I know you were sleeping, but I'm summoning you. Alright, here, wait, let me switch to Flee the Facility. I love you guys very, very, very much. Have a good night, if you're gonna go. But if you want to stick around and have some fun for a little while, not for too long, because Kaylin says it's my bedtime, but who gotta listen to her, you know? You know.
You know how it is. All right. All right.